Windows Contacts allows you to create your own contacts, like you want to keep track of your business contacts, their email, phone numbers, addresses, or your personal contacts. And to do it, you want to come down here, click on the Start button, go to All Programs, and come up here and click on Windows Contacts. Now when it opens up the folder, I already have 2 default contacts, and I want to create some more. In fact, you can double click on one of the contacts. You can see my first name, last name, full name, keep track of their home information, work information, family, notes, IDs, and so on. To get started, to create a contact, you're going to be looking at your command bar. Well, on the command bar there should be create a new contact. If you don't see it on your command bar here, then that means you need to change the folder type or the properties of the folder. To do that, just anywhere in a blank area within the contacts folder you can see right there, go ahead and right click, go down to Properties, come up, click on the Customize tab, and change the folder type from Documents to Contacts. And then go ahead and click OK. It'll add to the command bar the new contact group, import, export your contacts, and so on. So now we can go ahead and create a new contact. Click on New Contact. Let's create our first contact. His first name will be Harry. Hit the Tab key a couple of times, and then Potter. Hit the Tab key. And then I want to add an email. I mean, you can add the middle, the personal title, their nicknames, but I'm just going to go right down to email. And then you can either click Add or click OK. I mean, if I click OK without adding the email, it'll still be there. So if I click OK, give it a second or two, and there's Harry Potter. There's his email. So let's do it again. Let's create another contact. New contact. And I can click Add, adds the email. Notice it's set to preferred email. That's the default email. You can keep adding more and more emails. And then if you have 20 of them listed here, just select one and say set it to preferred, which is going to be the default email. Because Windows actually has an email program that allows you to send email. Now outside of Windows, they have Microsoft Office, Microsoft Outlook. Outlook is another program. It's a fancier program. It has more features and options than the default Windows email program. So it can also be set to use as a preferred email to that as well. And I'll show you that in just a second here, the Windows email. I'll let you again check out the rest, like if you want to enter in their home information, their work information, family, and IDs, and so on. But I'm going to click OK, give it a second or two, it adds Sarah Brown. Next, I can group these contacts together. For example, if I have half of the groups that belongs to the marketing department, another group of people that belongs to HR, or maybe it's not about that, maybe it's about personal, family, extended family, I can take these people and put them into groups. And for example, let's put Harry Potter and Sarah Brown into, we'll call it the family group. To do that, just come up here, click on the new contact group, and then who do we want to add to the contact group? Click on the Add to Contact Group button. Shows us right in the folder here of our contacts. We want to add Sarah Brown, double click. Okay, then we also want to add Harry Potter, double click. And then when we're finished, go ahead and click OK. Of course, you have other options like the contact group details, which I don't have any as far as the family goes. Maybe we have a family website. We can type in www.family.com or whatever our family website is. In any case, I'm okay with this, so I'll click OK. Give it a second or two, and there's the family group. Now, probably the main purpose or reason for having a contact group is being able to email everybody within that group without having to do it one person at a time. So if I have a family of 50 or 60 relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, put them all in the family group, and then through the Windows email program, I'm able to email everybody within that group without having to add each email separately. And if we have 50 people, that would take a while. So if you're curious about how to use the Windows email program or set it up, go ahead and watch the next training video on Windows email. Otherwise, if you purchase Microsoft Office's Outlook 2007, I recommend using that because that's a lot more powerful. You have more features than you have with Windows Contacts. Now, instead of creating all your contacts, if you have a list of contacts in a file or a format like a CSV format file, comma-separated values, you can import it into your Windows Contacts here. For example, let me minimize the screen, double-click the exercise folder, and I've got a contact. Maybe I exported it from another file. Maybe I actually had it in Excel and I saved it as a CSV or comma-separated value file. In any case, when I double-click and open it up, the comma-separated value file opens up in Excel here, 2007. If you're not familiar with Excel 2007, you may want to watch the training video on it. I'm going to go ahead and click and drag these column headers so you can see the contact I'm about to import. Basically, I have all the labels. It's important to have a label for the data that you want to import. The label for this column is all the names. For emails, all the emails, and business phone for all the phones and so forth. But I'm only going to be importing because all I have here is one record, which is Bob Proctor. Now, when I want to import this into the contacts, I want to make sure that the fields here that I have them labeled, this is the name field, this is the email field, matches the actual contact fields. For example, I go back to my contacts window, okay? Let me open up a contact, double click and open it up. Now, it has first name and it has last name and it has full name. So I need to make sure that the fields I have in the comma separated value, the names of those fields, match with what's in here. Because if it doesn't, if they don't match and I try to import it, like for example email, say, well, where does the email go? Does it go in nickname, title? It has to be specific, and I'll show you that in a second. Let me click cancel. Let me go back to my Excel spreadsheet. So we know what we're importing here. Let me close out. I'm not going to save it. And let's go ahead and import. So in my contacts window, click in a blank area here so I can go back up on the command bar, click on the import button. It's a comma separated value file, so if you can get your data into a CSV file, fantastic, because that's one of the files that can be imported into your contacts. And again, the Excel training videos, you may want to watch those because it'll help you understand the difference between these files, Excel's files, CSV files, and so on. In any case, select it, click on import. It's going to say, okay, where is the CSV file? Click on browse. It's on my desktop in the exercise folder, so I can click desktop, double click exercise folder, double click on Bob, click next, and then it says, okay, the fields that you have in your CSV file are listed here. However, the fields that the contacts have that can relate to your fields are listed over here. So far, it can relate name to name, business phone to business phone, but it can't relate the email that I have listed in my CSV file to a matching field over here. If it doesn't match, it can't import, and that's not going to work for me. So I'll select this and say I want to map my field that I have in my spreadsheet or my CSV file to the name that you have in your fields here so I can import it. So let me change the mapping. And it says go ahead and select a contact field that's going to match your email field so we can import the email. So let me see what they've got in the contacts. Oh, that's why it didn't import. Did you see that? Let me go ahead and scroll up back to email here. Select email address. See, mine was labeled email, but in contacts it has to be labeled email address. And I want to import that field, so I'll check and click OK. What that means is that next time I have a CSV file, if I go back and I open it up here, double click, instead of email, it's best to come up here and have email address and hit enter. And now when I import it, it'll match it and you'll be able to import it. But if you don't have it there, that's okay. Let me go ahead and close out without saving here. Because as you just saw my little window here, that I just had to be able to map it saying, look, it may not be spelled perfectly, the same labels here, the same fields. That's okay. Select it, change the mapping, choose the right field it's supposed to go to or import into in the contacts field. You're good to go. Click finish. Click close. There's Bob Proctor. There's his email address. Double click, open it up. The name was broken down into first, into last, full name, and then there's his email. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.